Sarcopenia, The Silent Muscle Loss of Aging by AZLAN ADNAN, M.A. Monday, 8th September 2025. As human beings grow older, their bodies undergo a wide range of changes, many of which are subtle but deeply significant. One of the least visible yet most important of these changes is sarcopenia, the gradual decline in skeletal muscle mass and strength associated with advancing age. Although muscle loss begins in middle age, roughly 40 to 59 years, it accelerates sharply after the age of 60. By the time a person reaches 80, it is not unusual for them to have lost up to 30 or even 40% of the muscle mass they once had in their youth. Why sarcopenia matters. The decline in muscle with age is not uniform but follows clear patterns. With proper exercise and diet, these losses can be slowed, and in many cases, older adults can achieve muscle mass levels closer to ideal targets. 30 to 40 years, peak muscle mass is reached. Loss begins slowly, about 3 to 5% per decade. 40 to 59 years, men, cumulative 5 to 7% loss by late 50s. Women, cumulative 6 to 8% loss, steeper after menopause. 60 to 70 years, men about 12 to 15% below youthful levels. Women about 15 to 18% below youthful levels. 70 to 80 years, men 20 to 25% total loss of baseline muscle mass. Women 22-27% total loss. 80 years and above, men 30 to 35% cumulative loss. Women 35 to 40% cumulative loss. These figures represent averages. With targeted strength training and adequate protein, older adults can maintain muscle mass at the lower end of these ranges, delaying frailty and preserving independence. This process is not merely a cosmetic concern. Sarcopenia is a major contributor to frailty, falls, fractures, loss of mobility, and dependence on others for daily activities. Beyond mobility, it affects metabolic health, undermining blood sugar control, lowering bone density, and reducing resilience to illness. It is therefore misleading to think of sarcopenia as a normal change that requires no attention. While some degree of muscle decline is inevitable with age, the speed and severity of that decline can be greatly slowed and in some cases partly reversed by conscious lifestyle choices. Monitoring muscle mass in practical terms. Knowing the percentage of muscle lost over decades provides useful background, but it does not help the individual manage their present condition. A more practical approach is to measure current muscle mass percentage, %, using a reliable body composition monitor. The following are ideal ranges of skeletal muscle mass percentage by age and sex. Men, 20-39 years, skeletal muscle 40 to 44% of body weight, 40 to 59 years, 38 to 42%. 60 to 79 years, 36 to 40%. 80 plus years, 34 to 38%. Women, 20 to 39 years, skeletal muscle 32 to 35% of body weight, 40 to 59 years, 30 to 33%. 60 to 79 years, 28 to 31%, 80 plus years, 26 to 29%. How to use these figures. If your muscle percentage falls below the lower end of your age and sex-specific range, this is a red flag for sarcopenia risk. It is then vital to intensify resistance training, adjust protein intake, and ensure overall metabolic health is protected. Prevention and management. The two most powerful interventions are exercise and nutrition. Resistance training, simple weightlifting, resistance bands, or even body weight exercises remains effective well into the 80s and 90s. Older adults who remain active in this way often preserve their independence much longer. Nutrition, particularly adequate protein intake, is equally critical. Many elderly people consume less protein than they need, yet the aging body actually requires more protein to maintain muscle. Experts recommend that adults over 60 consume 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For example, a 70-kilogram person should aim for 70 to 85 grams daily. For those who exercise regularly, or who are recovering from illness or injury, the requirement may rise to 1.5 grams per kilogram, or about 105 grams daily for a 70-kilogram person. Protein intake can also be measured as a percentage of daily calorie intake. Males, around 15 to 20% of total daily calories from protein. A man consuming 2,000 kcal daily should therefore target 75 to 100 grams of protein. Females, around 15 to 18% of total daily calories from protein. A woman consuming 1,800 kilocalories daily should aim for 65 to 80 grams of protein. Other factors play supporting roles. Adequate vitamin D and calcium are essential for both muscle and bone health. Sufficient sleep, avoidance of smoking and excessive alcohol, and regular movement throughout the day all contribute to slowing muscle loss. Recommendations for different age groups. Between 60 and 70 years. This decade often marks the beginning of accelerated muscle decline. Men at this stage generally have higher baseline muscle mass, while women face rapid losses linked to menopause. Men should emphasize resistance training to retain strength and manage abdominal fat. Women should prioritize strength exercises that support bone density. Both should aim for at least 1.0 grams of protein per kilogram daily, or about 15 to 18% of total calories for women and 15 to 20% for men. Protein should be distributed across all meals. Between 70 and 80 years, the risk of frailty rises, making targeted intervention crucial. Men experience sharper testosterone decline, while women remain vulnerable to osteoporosis. Strength training should continue, adapted to individual capacity, with a focus on balance and functional movements to prevent falls. Protein intake should be closer to 1.2 grams per kilogram daily, equating to 18 to 20% of total daily calories for men and 16 to 18% for women. Adequate vitamin D and calcium are vital. 90 years and above. At this stage, the goal shifts to preserving independence and preventing disability. Chronic conditions may complicate nutrition and exercise, but even light resistance or chair-based activities are beneficial. Protein intake should be sustained at 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram daily, or roughly 15 to 18% of total calories for women and 15 to 20% for men. Softer protein sources such as yogurt, lentils, tofu, and eggs can help overcome chewing difficulties or poor appetite. Hydration remains equally critical, as older adults often fail to recognize thirst. Conclusion. Sarcopenia is not an inevitable sentence to frailty and dependence. While it cannot be eliminated altogether, its impact can be reduced through resistance exercise, higher protein intake, adequate vitamin D and calcium, and a lifestyle that values movement and vitality. Men and women may experience muscle decline differently, but both benefit from taking action early and consistently. By doing so, older adults preserve not just their muscles, but also their independence, dignity, and quality of life well into their later decades.
Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to show your support.